Chapter 4. 10 seconds on the shot clock. The score is tied. Shane Johnson has the ball, I say, providing a commentary of my actions as I dribble the ball across my driveway. My gaze is fixed on the standing basketball hoop near the garage. The crowd is on their feet. I walk forward, bouncing the ball between my legs. 2 defendants are on him. I spin by one imaginary opponent, then fake right. The second opponent commits and I dart past him. He's heading for the basket. He pulls up, shoots, and scores! Ah! The crowd goes wild! He did it! He won the game! I do a little victory dance. The arena is filled with shouts of MVP! 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 That's my son! That's my son! I jump and spin around. My dad steps out of the darkness, and in the glow of the lights mounted near the back porch. He claps. Good game. I retrieve the ball. How long have you been standing there? I was so zoned in that I didn't even hear him come outside. After Doc left, I quickly did my homework so I could get in a little more practice, even though my body protested, and all I wanted to do was crawl into bed. Long enough to see you single-handedly win the game, he says, walking closer. Those are some nice moves. It's easy to win when you're playing against yourself. Sweat trickles into my eyes. I wipe it away with my arm. Not true. Sometimes you can be your toughest opponent. Huh? I frown. Dad's a fountain of wisdom, but sometimes he needs to break it down for me to understand. We're usually tougher on ourselves, our own worst critic, he says. We're too busy focusing on what we consider a weakness and don't notice all our strengths. I nod. I know I'm hard on myself, because that's because I want to be the best. I have a lot to prove, especially now. Throughout my recovery, my end game was getting back on the court, and I am so close. Mom sent you out here to get me. I'm not sure what time it is, but it has to be pretty late. He zips up his heavy jacket and shivers. The cold isn't bothering me. I'm wearing a light jacket and I'm hot. She wanted you in 30 minutes ago. But I bought you a little more time, he says, gesturing for the ball. I tossed it to him. Check this out. Dad dribbles the ball, barely keeping it control. Don't hurt yourself, I say. My hands are cold. Excuses, I say, grinning. Dad is not athletic. Anytime we play outdoor physical games as a family, I always call dibs on Mom. Sadie gets her creative side from Dad. I get my athleticism from Mom. Without dribbling, Dad runs towards the basket, jumps and tries to do a layup. The ball hits the rim, bounces back, and hits him in the chest. I shake my head. Dad, that was so ugly. Let me try again. This time he shoots, and it's a total airball. You can stop embarrassing yourself any time now, I say playfully as I retrieve the ball. I should have warmed up first. He stretches high in the air and shakes out his arms. I'm just a little stiff. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's it. Even though he's not good at playing basketball, he loves talking to me about the sport. It's cool how he puts so much effort into learning about something he's so bad at. And it's cool how much he supports me and attends all my games. I take a few more shots as he watches. Your motion looks good, he says. Smooth. It needs to be smoother. I haven't gotten my rhythm back yet. There's no pressure when I'm hooping in the backyard. No one is guarding me in my face. On the court in a real game, it's way different. I bounce a little on my toes, trying to relieve the ache in my knees. Dad stands near the bottom of the hoop. I shoot the ball and it rolls around the rim, falling into the net. He catches the ball and twirls it in his hands. You didn't say much about practice during dinner, he says. I gesture for the ball. He tosses it to me. Not much to say. It was my first day back. Mom and Dad support my need to be at my best. The problem is, their timeline for that is different from mine. They know I love basketball, but I don't think they realize how horrible I felt when I couldn't play. When I thought I would never play again. It was like I'd lost a part of myself. Not only was I helpless, but I also didn't have a purpose. I felt empty, not a whole complete person. Mom's still worried, huh? I asked when Dad remained silent. He snorts. Always. The more you tell her not to worry, the more she worries. He walks a little closer, lowering his voice. Don't turn around, but she's peeking out the kitchen window. Smiling, I rolled my eyes. She's gonna grill you when we go back inside, you know that, right? Yep. Hey, check Sadie's bedroom window, I say. Is she watching too? Dad's eyes shift to the side. Uh-huh. Called it. Sadie worries as much as Mom. They're such bad spies. The worst. I grab the ball from him and go in for a layup. There's not much lift in my legs, but the ball falls in the basket. Hey, that's what your layup is supposed to look like. Ha ha. He shivers. It's getting colder out here. We better go inside before your mom comes out. I know she's been timing me. And it's late. You need your rest. Okay. I line up one last shot and release the ball. It hits the rim and falls to the ground before rolling into the grass next to the bikes leaning against the garage. He throws his arm around my shoulder and leads me towards the house. Despite that horrible shot, you really do look good, he says jokingly. Proud of you. Thanks, Dad, I say, swallowing the lump in my throat. I may have passed his eye test, but he's not who I need to impress. And there's stuff he can't see, like the faint aches and pains in my legs that I've tried to ignore, the itchiness of my scars and how they tug at my skin when I move in certain directions, the nightmares. As we climb the back porch steps, I hear a low buzz of energy and the light above the kitchen doors. The hairs on my arms stand up in a weird electrical currents flow through my body. Ouch! Dad jumps away from me and shakes out the hand that was on my shoulder. Got shocked. I frown. I'm not touching anything metal. Well, you are fast as like lightning. Dad laughs as he's the funniest person in the world. That was the worst dad joke ever, I say with a shake of my head. As we enter the house, I take one last look over my shoulder at the basketball hoop. It casts a strange shadow across the driveway that almost seems to be in the shape of a person. The porch light flickers again, and the shadow shifts on the ground, as if it is coming closer. My heart jumps and I stumble over my feet, bumping into Dad. Sorry. I blink hard and the shadow is static again, not moving. I silently laugh at myself. My tired eyes must be playing tricks on me. As I close the door behind me, the wind whistles loudly through the trees, almost as if the brittle leaves are talking, as if they are whispering a warning. Chapter 5. I glide through a tunnel. A light appears in the distance. I stand before a castle. A large stone fountain appears. A basketball bounces towards me, landing in the water with a big splash. I reach for it, but it disappears, leaving behind coins, gold, silver, and copper, at the bottom of the stone structure. Bulging fish eyes appear from the faces of the coins. They blink. Gasping, I jump back. I hear whistling. I recognize the melody. It's a lullaby. Rockabye Baby. I shudder as it grows louder, closer. You are worthy, a sinister voice whispers close to my ear. My heart races as I spin around. A dark smoke-like form appears. It morphs until it's human-shaped, but there are no discernible features. Above its head, something sparkles. Wisps of dark smoke drift toward and coil around me, like a snake. I struggle to breathe, panting loudly. A cloud of gold particles billows out of my mouth. Something brushes against my arm. The slight touch sends shivers through me. The nerves in my face vibrate. Then there's a hard tug on my cheeks, as if they're being stretched in different directions. My scars ripple, then burns as it sears off my forehead, inch by inch. There's value in suffering. The pain pierces every molecule in my body. I scream, "Wake up, Shane! Wake up!" My eyes flow open. There's only darkness. Something grabs my shoulder and shakes me violently. Panting, I twist and turn, struggling to get free. No! Stop! Let me go! My arms flail around wildly and land hitting something. Hey! A voice shrieks. Click! Light from my bedside lamp brightens the room. My blurry gaze darts around, finally landing on my sister. She stands next to my bed, breathing almost as hard as I am. I scramble back until I hit my headboard and try to catch my breath. I'm awake, safe but not. The nightmare. It won't release me. I still feel it. The memory of the terror prickles my skin and it is rooted deep in my chest. Sadie! I squeeze my eyes shut, then quickly open them again. Too dark. You hit me. She's wearing a headscarf that has dots of white stuff on her face. It's probably toothpaste. She read somewhere it's good for acne. Sorry. I clear my throat and wipe sweat off my forehead. My hand trembles. What are you doing in my room? She crosses then uncrosses her arms. You woke me up. You were screaming. I lick my dry lips. Out loud? That's usually the way people scream, Shane. Are you okay? Yeah, just a bad dream. I tug at the damp shirt stuck to my chest. I'm hot and cold at the same time. It's like I just finished an hour of intense basketball drills and jumped into a freezing shower. Still too hot on the inside and shivering all over. You look horrible, says Sadie, her nose scrunched. Then I look how I feel. Want to talk about it? She asks cautiously. My stomach spins. The dream was weird. Already some memories are fading, even though the uneasiness remains. Out of the corner of my eye, I glance at my nightstand. I have a notebook inside the top drawer. I want to grab it and write down some of the stuff I remember, but I know that my race red flags I don't need raised. She bites the corner of her bottom lip. Are you having nightmares again? That's a complicated question. The nightmares never really stopped. Sadie doesn't know that, though. I hesitate, unsure of how to respond. The really bad ones, she clarifies. The bad ones happened in the hospital and lasted weeks after I returned home. The bad ones had me paranoid, convinced something was after me. The bad ones made me afraid to sleep. I developed insomnia. I had frightening mood swings. The bad ones sent me to therapy and had me questioning if I would ever be me again. They wrecked me, disturbed me in ways I still can't possess. The bad ones eventually stopped, but now I'm not sure what's worse. Remembering all the scary stuff? Or being traumatized by a jumbled mess of disturbing images and feelings I don't understand? The not knowing, the unseen, is sometimes more terrifying than the seen. I can't fight what I don't understand. It's not like before, I say shakily. Sadie places her hands on her hips and frowns. Maybe you should tell... No! I push off my tangled covers and jump to my feet. I sway as blood rushes to my head. Wide-eyed, Sadie stumbles back a few feet. Mom and Dad would question if I should play ball right now. They'd probably want me to see a doctor, maybe have some tests run. There's stuff I've forgotten, but I do remember lying in that uncomfortable hospital bed for weeks, hooked up to the machines that beeped all night. I remember all the medicine that kept me confused. I remember how the nurses checked on me every hour. I couldn't rest. I remember vowing that I would never return. And then there were Mom and Dad and Sadie watching me like I might disappear. Sometimes I'd pretend to be asleep so I didn't have to see their sad expressions, their tears, but I couldn't block out the sounds of them crying. I felt every sob. It ripped me apart. It hurt, and I was already in so much pain. I wiped my damp hands down my pajama pants. There's no reason to tell Mom and Dad. It's not a big deal. So you aren't having bad nightmares again? She asks, her eyes narrowed. That's a trick question. By definition, a nightmare is a bad dream. So would a bad nightmare be a really, really bad dream? How do you judge that? Sadie's eyes narrow and she growls in frustration. No, I'm not having bad nightmares again, I say with a heavy sigh. Shane. I hate it when she says my name in that tone. like I'm a child and she's a concerned parent. If I was in the right headspace, I'd call her out, but I'm not. So I let it go. Yeah? You know you can tell me if something's not right, she says. My head hurts. I rub my temples as anger flares inside me before ebbing away just as fast. Maybe she wants something to be wrong just so she can fix it. I frown. Where did that thought come from? She sighs loudly. We don't keep secrets. It's like a rule we've had since we were little. People think Sadie and I are close because we're twins, but that's not it. Just because you're born on the same day and close to the same time doesn't mean you have to like someone. My sister is my best friend. I trust her more than anyone else. It's just... I glance over her shoulder, my eyes landing on the trophies on my bookshelf. As much as Sadie has the power to help me, she also has the power to take away what I love too. Basketball. I'm so close to gain everything I want back. If something was up, I'd tell you, Sadie. I force myself to look her in the eye. I'm okay, I think. I scrambled to come up with something to make her worry less. I've just been so anxious about playing with the team again that it's messing with my sleep. And yesterday, Travis... What happened with Travis? She asks, scowling. I swallow the guilt I feel using that excuse. I knew the mention of Travis would set her off. He's my nemesis, so that means he's hers too. I had to hold her back several times when he's come at me with his nonsense. Travis was just being Travis. Annoying. Mad I'm back on the team. If you need me... Nope, nope, nope. I love Sadie, but I can't have my sister fighting my battles for me. I have to handle it. But if you don't, I do. Suddenly my basketball alarm clock blares and we both jump. Sadie hits the button on my clock to shut off the loud buzzer noise. 6:47 a.m. I like setting my clock to strange times. Faint rays of sunlight filter through my dusty bent blinds. Time to get ready for school, but I'm not ready. I can't share this with Sadie, but it feels like I didn't sleep at all, and that nightmare has me all twisted up inside. I sit on the edge of my bed. Sadie, why don't you leave so I can wake up? Her nose scrunches. What? You're already awake. I yawn loudly as I try to figure out if I could lie down for at least 10 more minutes. Not awake. My eyes are open, and I'm talking, but Sadie grabs the glass off my nightstand and tosses the water in my face. I gawk at her as the cool liquid mixes with the sweat and trickles down my cheeks. Seriously? I've always wanted to do that, she says with a smile. It works on television. I roll my eyes and fight a smile. I'm not even mad. I kinda needed it. I wipe the water off my face. Now that I'm wet, maybe I don't. That does not count as a shower, Shane. My eyebrows arch. She says she can't read my mind. I'm not reading your mind. I just know how you think. She pinches my arm. Ow! I say, rubbing my bicep. You know that's my shooting arm. Stop whining and get up. And as she walks toward my door, she bumps my large jar of coins. Several scatter across the floor. Shane! Sadie! Mom yells from down the hall. You better be getting dressed for school. Move with a purpose. Breakfast is in 20 minutes. We smile. Mom is a drill sergeant in the morning. Sadie hesitates in my doorway, half turned away from me. I watch as she presses down the raised corner of the basketball poster that is peeled off the wall before she turns to face me. You're good, right? My hands clench around my knees. It was nothing, sis. Promise. I'm good. She stares at me for a long moment, then nods. Then I'm good too. The moment she closes the door, I deflate. My shoulders bow from the weight of my lies. I'm not good. Fear and confusion simmer inside me. Suddenly, thoughts come rushing back. I dive for my nightstand and fumble to open the drawer. I grab my notebook and pen. There was a fountain, music. I frantically scribble down what I remember, but the memories soon begin to fade again in my head. Basketball, creepy coins, pain. My pen hovers over the page. Someone said something about suffering and being worthy and something else. What was it? I groaned in frustration. What do these cryptic messages mean? And who's saying them? The voice seemed kind of familiar. But why? Is there something I'm supposed to remember? What am I missing? I don't know how I know, but I'm sure these nightmares mean something important. They're pieces to a puzzle that I need to unscramble. I toss aside the notebook and clutch my head. So many things are rattling around. Scary, confusing things. I jump to my feet and pace. My room feels smaller, like I'm caged in. I want to run, but I'm not sure what I'm running from and where to go. The mirror over my dresser captures my troubled expression. It's hard not to stare at the scar on my head. I slowly lift my shirt and wince as I take in the scars crisscrossing my chest and stomach, where I was literally stitched back. After all this time, I should be used to seeing them, but I'm not. Will the scars always define me? Make me flawed? Weak? Mom says the scars mean I've healed. I'm not sure about that. What does it mean to be healed? That you're the same as before you were hurt? Better? Are there scars they can't see inside my head? My memories? My confidence? What if I'll never be me again? I drop my shirt and rub a hand down my face. Stop it. I'm fine. Everything is okay. It has to be. I can't go backward. I've come too far. I exhale a loud breath. Then another. Then another. Get your head in the game, Shane. Reset. Shake it off. Squaring my shoulders, I walk to my dresser to grab some clothes to wear to school. My gaze falls on a picture of me and Sadie in a crude ceramic frame she made when we were 8. We were making silly faces, eyes crossed, fingers tugging at the corners of our mouths. Guilt sours my mouth as I remember how I lied to her about the nightmares returning. There was one thing I was honest about, though. Sadie asked if this nightmare was like the bad ones I had after the accident. I told her it wasn't. The truth is, it was way worse. What do you guys think those nightmares could be? What do you think it means? Join me for our next chapter.